All right, in the red, a player from TSL used to be in OU.
GSL alive.
Very strong player. We saw him use during the GSL Team League. There he is. Code A round of 16 last time. Very intense look on his face. We're going to look at him for a few minutes. Hope you guys are okay with that. And down here, a great Zerg player. And also the captain of OGS.
oGsCezanne.
oGsCezanne. Been a very good high-level Zerg player on the Korean server since early on in the beta. Shown a lot of skill in the GSL thus far. Made it into the round of 8 last time, as you see. And just barely didn't make it out of the up and down matches. Barely lost to Ensnare, and then lost to Czech Prime. Very strong players themselves. And we see he's going to go hatchery first, which is Crevasse. You're always going to see hatchery first. Almost.
Yeah, but he chose to go for the lower U1, the one with 6 minerals and 1 gas, instead of the one outside. I mean, it's riskier, but it's better for your economy, especially when you're playing against a Terran. If it's not a mirror matchup, you really need to be ahead of your opponent. But it's kind of funny, he built his supply depot so far in his base, alive.
Yeah, it's kind of way off on the side to catch any overlords, I think. But, you know, what you just said was actually something quite interesting. You know, a lot of people just say, oh, look at this expansion I have in my base. This is impossible for anyone to attack. I'll just take this. But, yeah, this is a very long map. And guess what? Your opponent's probably going to do a fast expansion strategy as well. The map is huge. It takes 3.5 days to walk across. Okay, I'm not even joking. Like, they're going to scout each other sometime during Code S on Thursday. So, I mean, taking that outside expansion definitely can be something that's worthwhile. If your opponent proxy racks, yeah, maybe you die, but other than that, suddenly you have this free third base. You can literally take it instantaneously without any danger, as well as having more mineral patches, more gas at your natural.
And you're right, because the Terran went straight for a fast expansion. If the Zerg actually took the risk to take the one outside, he would have been ahead, because the Terran wouldn't push anytime soon. By then, he would have a seizable army to defend, and it would have been so good for him. But he decides to go for the safer one.
Yeah. And, I mean, taking the safer route sometimes is a great idea. Like, let's say that we see Nesty playing against, you know, Jibby Jobber 502. He's going to probably take that inside one. In fact, he might go pool first and take that inside one. But these two are actually very clearly closely matched. So it's kind of interesting to see the decision-making. But, of course, Cezanne, the captain of OGS, going to be a very strong player, has the win to help teach him on the team. Great Code S cert. And that SCV does go down. A couple barracks being made in a factory. Wonder if he's going to go into Hellions, perhaps. He's getting that barracks reactor.
This Overlord will probably... Let's see.
Ooh. I don't think we should tell him yet, but ooh. Say it with me. Ooh. This is going to be an exciting
I can't make it sound as good as you. You sound more mysterious when you say it.
Oh, well, I'm a mysterious guy. What can I say?
2 factory.
Some Zerglings out of Xel'Naga Watchtowers. You know, that's a great thing about Zergs people don't really mention a lot. Zerglings cost half a supply and they're very fast. You can take all the Watchtowers pretty easily with them.
Look at this drone. Looking for an expansion to go to.
And look at that. 2 factories. And I love mech play. Now, this may not necessarily be mech play. This may just be something like we've seen Xenix Beyond do a lot, where it's, yeah, a lot of mech early on, but then it switches over into more bionic. But we do see in the production tab, Blue Flame being made, and we just saw that extra hatchery being made way out in the middle of nowhere.
And
kind of a funny location.
On a lower one again.
Oh, and looks like these Zerglings dashing in and out. There's way too many Marines there for them to actually do any damage, though.
Well, why do you think he actually went for the single gas one again?
Well, I think that that's never going to be scouted, at least. Well, I don't know, because there's a watchtower right there, so that would be a point where when I come out in the map as Terran, I would just send something there anyways. We do see a Bailey Nest being made, but yeah, that's an interesting place. I think... Ah, okay, so He is teching up slowly, getting an evolution chamber, getting a Baneling Nest, but not really concentrating on gas expansions. Maybe we're going to see some just really high economy Baneling aggression. It's interesting.
This is so bad for the Zerg player. This push is going to be really strong, especially with Blue Flames coming in. And he doesn't really have much army on the field right now. He doesn't even have roaches to defend the Blue Flame.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of brutal. He's going to have to hold the top of the ramp. As you see here, he does have the Spine Crawler. That'll help a lot. He's got to be so careful with these Zerglings, though. The Hellions, they are going to be done. They are done with Blue Flame, in fact. And with those Marines out there as well. Here we go. He's trying to kill off the Marines, and he's going to go ahead and sacrifice the Zerglings for them. Probably a good idea. He's got to kill off as many as possible. But, oh, my God. They just got roasted, toasted, burnt to crisp. And these Hellions, if they go straight in, Kelly, I think that we might be seeing a very quick game here. Hellions to get in.
Speedlings coming out.
Blue Flames doing a great job against that. The Marines are going to just walk up past that Spine Crawler as well. And wow, he got trapped in there by the spawning pool. And suddenly, Cezanne, that spawning pool just changed this game around hugely.
He got a really good surround on all of the Hellions at his base. Now there are a couple more coming in, but that was really good defense. Yeah, I have to say.
Uh-oh, we have more Hellions coming up.
Can he defend?
Oh, and they're showing the players, but the Hellions just snuck through. Oh, and it looks like these drones all going down. This is not looking good for Cezanne right now.
He needs to pull his drones off.
He is down to 20 drones at this point. 19. Zerglings dying left and right.
Looks like
12 and 11 kills on those.
Well, he manages to defend this push, but he lost so much.
Well, I don't know if he'll just keep defending it at this point. He's down to 19 drones and 2 Zerglings. There's units outside his ramp, as we see. The Queen's desperately waddling over there to block. But at this point, GSL alive, he has a lot.
Has an armory up.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have everything. Even if mutas are made, he's going to be able to make, you know, Thors, Marines, you name it, he's got it.
I guess some mutants are coming out for the Zerg player, but I don't think much can be done. He sees the extra expansion that was so far away from his main base. The thing is, if you want to have an expansion so far from your base, you need to have army that are mobile to actually defend it, but he doesn't have much army.
You know, the Blue Flame Hellion was perfect against this build, because as you said, you know, he needs a mobile army, and Zerglings would be a mobile army, yet he can't use them at this point because it's Blue Flame Hellions.
Oh, he's actually trapped there.
Or, wow. Getting angry at that add-on.
Too big. Well, he has some mutas out on the field, but it's not going to do a lot of difference because what counters mutas? Tier 1 Terran units, Marines!
Yeah. Missile turrets, Thors, Marines, and he's got all of them.
And he doesn't have enough mutas because of his economy. It's not strong enough right now. He can't get that much because he chose to go for the one with 1 gas.
Yeah.
So he's not going to have enough. He can have a couple of Banelings and Speedlings, but I don't think it's going to be enough to hold against the Mag army that the Terran is bringing out at the moment. Because the Terran is being so aggressive. Has to be careful not to waste too much units, so.
You know, in fact, right now, there's only 6 mutas out. There's 2 Thors and 14 Marines. I can't even really explain how much those mutas get owned.
He's not actually even getting gas on his second expansion.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have many drones yet. 36 drones only. Dropped down to 19 at one point during that rush. Is making a lot of drones right now, which is the right choice. I mean, you may as well make a lot of drones.
Well, we see 2 medivacs filled up to the brim with Marines and some borrowed Banelings.
Baneling landmines, always a good choice.
We're gonna keep a lookout for that. Hopefully he does enough damage.
Well, he's gonna have to. I mean, if he doesn't get some, I mean, that's a good thing to do right now. You know, he's so far behind, he has to come back somehow. You may as well try to get a bunch of free kills on all his units. A nice scan right there, barely out of range of all the Baneling landmines.
Well, he knows that the Zerg player has borrowed because he borrowed his queen earlier. So he's going to be more careful. Yeah,
definitely. In fact, he should probably just get a Raven. He's so far ahead. There's really no reason not to.
He's getting a second expansion there. He's going to be safe. The Zerg can't really do much damage to him unless he makes a very big mistake. You can see the Zerg is going to invest into Muta Banelings because he's getting +2 for his land units.
Yeah. And, you know, you may as well. I think that from here, I'm surprised he's still making mutas. You know, it's... Oh, good missile turret right there. That's going to show him at least some of the burrowed banelings. And they run away.
Yeah, like landmines when you move out, literally. Those Marines have to be careful. He's going to have to use a lot of scans though, so he might as well get a Raven out.
Yeah, you know, I think that that's something we're going to see in the future as people get better and better at these large maps and how to play them. Terrans are going to have to start getting a Raven just blindly, being like, okay, you know, I don't want to die to random landmines all over the place. I need that Raven, you know. Should become kind of like the science vessel in Starcraft 1. See these mutas actually starting to do some decent damage.
Has +1 on his mutas.
At the same time, he is moving out with his Marines and tanks. That is a scary army indeed.
Well, he's gonna go for the second expansion of the Zerg player right now. Oh no!
Barely walks by those Baneling landmines.
Doesn't get in range. Scan sees that they are not any Banelings defending the second expansion of the Zerg player.
Oh my. And goodbye hatchery and all drones. That is... Poor Cezanne, you know, he just lost so many drones early on. He's just really not even a player in this game, man. He's trying to come back, but TSL Live is just playing the perfect combination of aggressive and safe. If Cezanne were to actually break through this army at some point, I'd be very, very surprised. And in fact, I like what Cezanne's doing, though. He's making a ton of mutas right now, not really concentrating too much on Banelings. He's just... I think he's probably going to go into counterattack mode pretty quickly here.
I don't even think all these Banelings are going to make a difference right now.
Yeah. It's not really looking like it. Alive playing a pretty safe game.
Here comes the counterattack.
Now this counterattack, if he joins up all his Mutalisks, may be quite good, because most of the Marines are in the center of the map still. By the way, 120 supply for Cezanne. 175 for Alive. Ouch.
Even as a Zerg player, you have to kind of make sure you have higher supply than your Terran opponent. Catches a Baneling bombs that are borrowed in.
He's just being so careful, just as he should be.
The Zerg is definitely going to go for the counter-attack right now because he knows that he can't fight this Terran army that's coming. Sees a borrowed Banelings, kills the 3 of them. Gonna see the expansion, gonna take this down.
Well, you know, he hasn't reinforced this army at all yet. So if Cezanne makes a ton of Banelings right now, he may be able to break it. He does have a lot of mutas, but it looks like he's coming too quick. A ton of Banelings are being morphed, but will he get them up in time? The Marine's very nearby.
Uses his fire. Not gonna back up.
Oh, gonna kill off some siege tanks.
Uh-oh.
Spreading out before the Banelings. No Baneling speed. And GG. Looks like Alive gonna take that first game relatively easily after that Blue Flame Hellion Rush.
I think CZ kind of got slightly outplayed over there. Alive did really well. He did a very strong early aggression. CZ is definitely feeling the pressure here.
Yeah. I mean, he's got one more chance to win a game here. If he loses this next game, then suddenly Cezanne has to go through the ridiculously hard qualifiers again. And seriously, going through those qualifiers is so hard. There's so many top-level players that aren't even in Code A right now. For instance, Squirtle and Ace. You guys saw how good they did against everyone else. All these. I mean, Squirrel took out I'm MVP, and he's already dropped back down in the qualifiers.
I know.
To even be in the Code A.
Can you imagine fighting those guys to try to go into Code A? So hard.
That is so hard. So, I mean, there's a ton of pressure on Cezanne. If you fall out of Code A, I mean, if you're in Code A, maybe you'll keep it, maybe you won't. But, I mean, you're on TV playing your games, you're making money, you know, you're being famous. But then when you drop down, I mean, you got ST Bomber, you got Ace, you got Squirtle, you got Moon just fell down, you got Moonglade just fell down, Hey Pro. These
so many good players.
So,
we're getting on Xel'Naga. Xel'Naga is a pretty balanced map, but once the Terran player gets his planetary fortress out on his goal base, he just takes half the map.
It's hard to really attack into Terran from there, and it's like a good base of operations. You know, the Zerg player can run around and try to expand to different places, but he can always poke out little small forces and run back to the planetary. So it becomes a really interesting game there, but you're quite right. I mean, that's
the planetary is like
strong.
This huge siege tank.
I know.
That is unbreakable.
It truly is that. I mean, if you want to kill that thing, you need to Xenio that thing, man. Just like 70 Banelings at it or something. So it looks like it is time. The game is starting. I'm excited. Are you excited, Kelly?
Yes.
It's time. Let's go.